Alright, we got ourselves a game against a quote-unquote Lightning. Really, they only had like 2 people in attendance. Everyone else decided to watch baseball instead. A little rewind here. Ray's making his fancy moves. Puck protection. I think you got room to just start skating up or reverse back around rather than kind of panic passing. I don't know if the intention was for Jess, but it seemed like a pretty hard pass. And then Alex is always an option as well. And at this point, you know, give it some time for Rayhan to probably shift down behind the net. And then Jess is, I can see her starting to move this way. So it seemed okay. Maybe just jump the gun a little bit there. But overall, it's not a big deal. We still got possession back. Maybe too much mustard on that pass, Alex, but not a big deal. And not much going on, but I was able to enter the zone, and then well, that was a nice goal, but some big defensive mistakes. Let's see what happens here. Right here, when Carrie Ann swaps off of Ray, he should be the one, like he's got to be quick on the ball and identify 2 forwards coming into the zone, and likely going to be indicating this one, and then Alex is going to be tying up on this player. So let's see how they kind of sneak in behind each other. Yeah, too much focus. You can see Ray's too focused on Eng, like Carrie Ann's already on him. So really at this point, it's where's that pass going to get to? It's going to be one of these 2 players. And it's the same with Alex. He's got to gap up way closer. So he's like in a really tough spot where he's just too far away from everyone. And just for the sake of this, I'll rewind it. Focus on Alex right now. See how he has to now take a couple steps forward, and then he's not able to react, and that allows a pass to go in behind him. Now ideally, he would have just gapped up, spaced in between these 2 players. So more like if he was kind of here, it'd be easy, like a quick poke check if need to, but then able to space and go backwards. And then the other secondary thing is Ray should have put pressure on this player already, and then it kind of allows Alex to just jump up to Claire and kill that play. So got a few mistakes right there. Alright, so we go for a line change right here. A little 50-50 battle right there. Putting some pressure on the forecheck, and they missed the puck, so we're able to gather it up. And I've said before how if we can get bodies towards the net, that's a good thing, because it draws attention, like defensive attention towards them. And it basically kind of makes space. So momentarily they focus on Dave, who's rushing towards the net, but then they decide, oh, well, I need to put pressure on the puck carrier. So first of all, it buys space for the puck carrier to go in, and then number 2, now we're in a goal scoring opportunity. And then if like nothing happens from there, and the puck starts going towards the perimeter, then we get into, you know, our triangle formation, move the puck around, right? So how does this kind of boil down? We see right here we had some space given, so a pass comes through. Their defenseman was very gracious to slow it down for Dave, and now we get a goal. And so if you go to the net, good things tend to happen. So just a little recap for a refresher. On a rush, you typically want to get towards the net, and then from there you branch out and get into the triangle formation. So something I wanted to point it out was I like how aggressive Kathy is. So the first thing you want to identify as a D is who's the furthest back forward or furthest ahead. I guess back in terms of our perspective. So this player is the furthest back, so with the other two wingers out here. So let me change the size of my thingamajiggy. Okay, that looks good. So there's no reason to be too conservative. So Carrie Ann's way back here, and the only reason you ever want to fall back further is if a forward is coming in with a lot of speed and you need that extra gap to match your pace with them. Otherwise, you want to get nice and close with them without letting them sneak in behind you. So those are like the key aspects that you want to remember. Now the benefit of being close to them is you can sneak and take the puck off of them. And so Kathy has her chance here using her forward skills left and right. Gets a couple chances right there. And then looks again here is a completely separate note. I've mentioned in the past where weak side D. So strong side D, strong side means if you cut the ice in half, the puck is on the left side. So strong side is the defenseman that is on the side with the puck. So in this case, it's Carrie Ann. It's very important for them to really control the boards. And it's pretty rare for them to get off the boards unless the person coming up is skating with the puck, and then from there you can start moving off and they rotate like this. But that's kind of a scenario, it depends, right? But to keep it simple, their role is to hold on to the boards. And the weak side D has a lot of freedom. They can stay up here, they can move out here. Basically, they have the world's their oyster. They can really move and read depending on how the play develops. So in this case, Kathy sees, hey, there's an opportunity to sneak in because their winger has caught a little bit snoozing, and so has an opportunity there. Didn't quite get anything from it, but there was an opportunity right there. So 2 highlights. Let's see if there's anything else that happens, but those are 2 pretty good highlights. And she's able to jump in to get the puck. All right, cool. Here's some fun. Let's watch Ray moving in, making the moves left, right, left, and then boop. All right, a little play right here. Rayhan caught a little snoozing, and it all starts with the direction he's turning. So let's rewind here. So just pay attention to Rayhan and how he sees the puck, right? And then decides to turn away, and the puck gets behind him, right? So he never gave himself an opportunity to ever get the puck, and that is the mistake. So how do we fix that? So number one, if he wanted to go in that direction, he has to pivot. But what I would actually recommend is he slows down and stick both hands on his stick. Number one, both hands on your sticks. Number one mistake is having only one hand on the stick, and give them a target. So show the passer where they want the puck. And then number two, actually start skating towards Kathy. So you don't have to be forward skating, but a couple C cuts, nice wide stance will get the job done. And then as the puck comes, if you receive it, then you turn up the ice and go, right? So rather than turning right, you turn left, easy peasy, skate towards the puck, receive, and then turn, or turn the other way. Either way. So we're about to see the penalty that the Lightning had on us, but you got like a death wish there, Kathy. What? Hold on. Should have definitely started turning right now. You left it. Holy smokes, is that late? You're so lucky he got out of the way. You're gonna get killed. Alright, let's continue. I want to see when they start blowing the whistle. Skating around. And then the check out this massive hit on Ernest, who is playing for the other team. Boom! Carrion absolutely demolishes him. Alright, we get some more Ernest banana peels. Not sure why he switched backwards there, but Alex gets a good chance. So one of the things I want to highlight, the good and the bad for Alex, he's been really good at picking off, keeping these pucks in, and he's going in on the attack down the wing. Here's one example. He's been a couple of them so far. The one thing I think he can improve upon, and it's very similar to what kind of Ray did in the past. He's shooting very far out on the perimeter, and it's not giving him a really good angle of a shot, right, from all the way out here. And especially, I guess let's doubling up on that. He's a right-handed shot, right? So the shot's actually coming out further outside, so the angle's not great. Now, yes, you can say the argument in our league, the goalies are a little bit weaker on average than a higher level division goalie. However, I think it is a bad habit to fire off these kind of shots unless there is a but. Obviously, there's always a but. Is if he sees people charging to the net and he's hoping for rebounds to start bouncing off. That is a but. But in this case, there's no forward there. So I would have much rather preferred Alex keep held on to puck. He's very good at that, and look for more plays that way. And if he can find a way to get into this zone to fire off the puck, whether through a pass or his own sheer will, rather than firing it off on the outside, it would be better, obviously. So that's kind of one thing I would have preferred that he worked on. Let's see if he has a chance number 2. So puck's down low. What does he do with it? So he holds on to it. So Alex he's good at the board plays. That's what he's good for and then he's holding it, trying to find the better play. Oh my god. Gives it right to Dave. I mean, so that's he does exactly what I think he should have done the first time around, right? So rather than firing it out on the side, he held on to it, and able to find, boom, someone right in the slot. Unfortunately, Dave already scored, so he can't shoot again, but it's like the play was perfect. So, yeah, not much to be said about that. Let's see if more can... Another thing is, once that play is dead, Alex, you shouldn't stay down there. Like, you should start backing up and then switch off with the forward. Like, we don't want to keep you in on the forecheck for too long. It's fine if you had the puck to continue the attack like this. That's perfectly fine. But once that play is down where you passed it out and the puck's not coming back to you, consider switching off, like coming back out and then moving back down. So you don't want to stay down there for forever, right? It's fine to stay on there offensively for a bit as the play is developing, but once that initial play is done, you shouldn't get out of there. So looks like we're still in the zone, and Alex still gets the puck. Oh, that's too bad for Jamie right there. But that's a few notes right there. Alright, here is a slight defensive mistake again, positionally. Again, with Rayhan this time going way too deep, like almost at the goal line. Yeah, I think the red tape on red tape rule really develops some bad habits, and here's an example of it. So I would say work on developing good habits to not go all the way to goal line, then focusing on red tape on red tape. But okay, so this play right here actually results in a goal against, so let's just kind of break it down. Bouncing puck everywhere and goal against. Let's kind of see. So positionally, so Carry-On should be on that player, that's fine, and then Ray should have been on 55, and so Rayhan would be on 91. We don't. So yeah, that kind of comes up with another problem, because you go down to aggressively. We pull players off of who they should be, but you know, Ray, he should have been on 55 anyways, so it's not really an excuse. And then this player is Kathy, so she should have been kind of gapping up on them. And then is that Jess or Jamie? That's Jess, so she was a little bit low as well. So if she was near Dave, or yeah, in the slot here, I think that would have helped. So positional problems all the way around town. And then so bouncy puck bounces to them. Well, Claire looks like she misses it, and then everyone's not focused on 48. Yeah, okay. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. Alright, here is examples where the gap control not so good. I would have liked to see, I mean, Kathy comes up a little bit. I would have liked to see her come up more. And Alex is just so far off screen, he's like off in Narnia, right? I would have preferred him. So the preference, like, how do we improve upon that? So for all anyone to learn, come up, gap up, pivot back, and then start backward skating. So we really want to close up this space. So right now it's like, you know, I don't know, it's like 8 stick lengths, and we want to get it up to like at least 2 at a minimum. So the other problem, oh my god, Alex, you're so far back. Can you see the problems right here of him being so far back? Is he'll have a tough time challenging these players. We also would want to see Ray come back, but the big problem is, I'd say, Alex is, and so pass comes out. If Claire was able to get it cleanly, he would not be there in time. If he was able to get a quick release, right? It all starts with positioning. Everything starts with positioning. Alright, here's a slight mistake positionally, and let's walk it through. So Kathy's going down on the attack, so whoever's right there to going in the attack. What this should signal is the other D wants to move across. That's how you're gonna do it. So goes down, moves across, and then weak side forward. In our case, it's probably going to be the center, but it could be the winger. It's just whoever is kind of ready to read it. And weak side D is always going to be the flexible one anyways. So if we use Ray as the example, he's going to switch. So it's like, you can see how number 1, number 2, number 3. So the eventuality is she goes down on the attack, gets killed. But Alex, you want to get over here because you're fulfilling that, closing off that board duty. And then Ray comes up, and well, he's playing that floater role, right? The world's your oyster. And the problem is, right, boom, chucked out, and because Alex, you're not there to hold that boards, it comes out. So that's just kind of an example. I've noticed a lot of one-touch passes from Kathy. This is an instance where I don't like it so much, because it breached the pizza zone. Pretty sketch. So let's break it down. She's got that puck here, and she wants to pass right here. This guy scares me. Ernest scares me. So this is a very easy read if they're on top of things. Oh, that was like right. I think he got a stick on it, and that's what caused the problems. So yeah, sometimes it works, but be selective with it. So this is a case. I think Kathy's already done it 4 times this game. It's barely touched the second period right now. Just got to be careful with it. It's not something you want to use all the time. Alright, a little highlight here positionally for Kathy and Alex. Notice this forward right here. Now watch how they are positioned to him. Oh my gosh, is that scary. We're just lucky that Ernest was not able to settle it down and had to chase down the puck. But oh boy. Oh boy. And we're also lucky the pass was intercepted, but oh boy. Alright, so we've actually never talked about this before, where you see how we've got the triangle. We're making progress here, folks. Now, if you ever have someone going around the circle like this, there's a couple options for this play right here. Number one, they can fan out as they're coming across if there's space. So if they're coming across, you backward skate, and that kind of forms a semi-triangle still, and then that pass could come and shot. So it's almost going to be like a bigger triangle. So this player starts moving up around the circle. Eventually Ray will actually want to fill in where Jess is skating from, and then this player has an option. They can either go down towards the net, like driving towards the net, and then filling where Ray used to be, or number 2, fan out a little bit, skate down along the side of the net, and then come back around to here. So it'll be a nice kind of slow transition, like a transition. So Jess will now come around the circle. Now she can shoot if there's a clear lane, pass across if there's a clear lane, or if she sees really like there's not a lot of options, she can pass off the boards down to where Ray will come and pick it up, and then Ray will see, hey, what are the options? Maybe someone's over here coming down to fill in. That might be a pass option. Maybe to Jess, that might be a pass option. Or he can do the same thing as Jess, skate around the circle, and then she does the same thing as either going around the circle or fanning out and then around that way. And this player does the same thing, so it's just spinning around. And then obviously there's always passing options to the D if that is that's always an opportunity. So never really talked about that, but that's what you can do. In this case, Jess fanned on it, so it ended up being a turnover, but that would be positionally what you would want to think about. Alright, so last minute of the second period. It does result in a goal, but a little change of pace going on with Kathy there. Our offensive defenseman tries to bank it off, sharp corner, sharp angle. Again, same with Alex, same with Ray. Now Kathy, I feel like those are low chances, so if we could hold on to the puck, look for a better opportunity, it would be better. Now Jamie's going in on the forecheck, putting pressure on this player, and falls down, but causes enough chaos to make it difficult for them to break it out, and Dave's able to shut down Dowd. Gets a puck bounced right back out to us, and a goal. And it all started with Jamie. So unfortunately, she doesn't get on the scoreboard, but this play does not happen without her tenacious forecheck. Oh, look at that. That pressure in the banana peel causes life is difficult for them. And a goal. Cool. Alright, so we get a second penalty by the other team. So Ray's coming in and gets hooked. Oh, big time. And that is their penalty. Alright, let's watch the power play funness. So they get the puck and they send it around. And we send it back down. Ray gets it. And what does he do with it? Passes it out. Ah, that's too bad. A good chance there. Nothing too exciting, but we're keeping it in the zone. Oh, I would have preferred that to be ring down the boards, but that's fine. Who are recovering? Too focused on the puck. Remember, it's 5-on-4. As long as 4 people are on one person, defensively it shouldn't be a problem. "50 seconds left on this power play. Set up and pass around the perimeter. Okay, that was acceptable. "25 seconds left. One more rush. Killed. 10 seconds left. And power play is over. Not much happened. Again, focus on trying to move the puck around the perimeter and then get shots in the middle, but it is fine. Alright, we're about to see the sequence for our third goal for. This is coming up on the attack. Goes right to left, that's perfectly fine. Splits the D, good opportunities right there. And then right here is where I think he should have gathered it, moved around, get a good angle, get on his forehand, rather than this kind of backhand chip. And I mean, it got lucky with the way that it bounced to Jamie and almost got poked off, but Kathy, being the hyper aggressive defenseman, was able to pounce on the opportunity and score the goal. Alright, looking at this, I have an inkling that Jamie might find some benefit of playing with a slightly shorter stick. Alright, this was painful to watch, and it was burned into my memory. So watch the complete lack of support these two D give each other. So Alex has the puck and he's fighting for his life. At this point, Kathy should get her butt on the opposite corner. On the opposite corner! But then she decides to cut. Why? Why? So he's fighting for his life. And so my thinking was, well, if Kathy, you're not going to be there, I got to get to the opposite corner so they can send it across. But the other problem is she's really decided to be in no man's land. She is neither helping Alex in being here or in the opposite corner, and she is neither being out here for an outlet pass. And obviously it makes matters worse in that we don't have a winger over here. But Alex is fighting for his life, looks back around. Come on, Where's his passing option? Should be a bounce across. Easy peasy. And I don't know why Alex held on to it, to be honest. Look at this! Oh my goodness. Oh, that's just straight pain. Alright, last 2 minutes, let's just watch the fun. I think I've got enough material for the review today. Well, Alex going in again, gets poked off. Alright. Carrie-Anne has it, sends it. Oh, I got a little messy here. Jess coming in, goes for a shot, gets saved. Skip to the face-off. So, getting better, Alex. So definitely be careful to not make sure they don't get behind you. But getting better with each game. I just have to continuously roast you. So they've pulled the goalie now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 6 on 5. Same thing again. Kathy decides to not be helpful to her D partner. Get over here towards the boards. Get towards the boards. Alex has the puck. Help him out. He's fighting for his life over here. Get over there. Get over there. Over there. Over there. Over here. Over here. Not here. So how is he gonna pass to you like that? There's a net in the way. There is a net in the way. Alright, I think I've drilled that enough. So eventually he passes it to Kathy. Now let's do a little drill. Why is this not so good for her? Because her back is turned to the other team. How is she going to pass to anyone when she gets the puck? She's not. She has to resort to a backhand pass that's off the mark, and now she's just set up right hand for failure, fed him to the Sharks. There's blood in the water. He's just getting devoured and mugged for his lunch money by 3 people. And it has to be that she comes out skating for dear life for it. But yeah, you know, it all starts with positioning. It all starts with positioning. I do remember this. This was a pretty good gut speed with David Eng. Goes on the outside, keeps it, power moves, but sharp enough angle that Cliff's able to seal it up. And good enough. So 15 seconds left. Let's see what they got. As long as we hold up the blue line, it'll be fine. We did not. That's my fault. 3 seconds left. And we're able to hold on to the lead. And that is game 3-2. Win. And if you've liked this, please like, comment. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you think other people would find this helpful, share it. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like. I'm joking. Alright, I'm not really joking, but alright, see you next time.